Hey, She Slayers, this is a special sample cut from this week's episode. If you find this interesting, be sure to make time to go listen to the entire episode released this past Sunday. And please be sure to help a girl out and follow or subscribe to this podcast. So, what I'm hearing is 401ks were kind of this like patch to pensions. So, like good intention, maybe good intention in the beginning. But now,
I don't think so. I think that
okay,
there's
that's what I was
two
gonna
pieces
add.
to
Like,
it.
I always like to go like, I assume
Yeah.
people are good. Like they
Even the person that created it is anti 401k now. The person that really built the system. The reality is they see how underwhelming it's been. So first off, if you're a financial institution, a 401k is a great tool because now most employers, if they set up a 401k, they automatically enroll their employees in it. They have to opt out. So it's like Big Brother. Money's automatically coming out. So imagine if I'm the investment advisor that gets paid by managing the 401k assets, a percentage of what's in there, and now people automatically put money in without thinking. Good for me. Even better, I get to take a fee on the government's money and your money because it's pre-tax. But you still have to pay the tax when you pull the money out. So people think they're in a tax savings mechanism. They're in a tax delaying mechanism. And the biggest problem is if you hate paying tax today, you probably are going to hate paying it 30 years from now. So it's an underperforming asset in that most people will underutilize it because they don't want to have the tax implications. So delaying it doesn't necessarily help. And so, yeah, we have this great situation for institutions because think about it. If you're a bank, what do you want from people?
I want interest. I want money. Like,
Yeah, you want money. How often do you want that money?
every day.
Yeah. How long do you want to hold on to it for?
For as long as possible.
How much do you want to give me back if I want to withdraw?
As little as possible.
Right. So there's the rules of 401ks. Those are the rules.
Well,
Hey,
but people
money,
have to understand that first, though. Like
yeah.
that, like it's almost like that's the first, working with chiropractors. Like it's so interesting to me because most chiropractors can look at the medical system and like again we can say it started good. Most people don't believe that either. Rockefeller, like, or no, is it
Yeah, by the
Vanderbilt?
way, I wrote a book called What Would the Rockefellers Do?
Yeah, exactly,
Kyro's
exactly.
always hammering like they would destroy our health. I'm like,
Yeah, Rockefellers
I'm
were
only
like,
talking about their financial structures, not
right,
that petroleum
right,
became
I'm
the
sure.
entire thing that developed Big Pharma.
I didn't even think about that
Yeah.
with you. They were like, how dare you? Like, whatever. You're like, listen, we're
Yeah.
just talking about. But yeah, so like a lot of people are like, no, it didn't even start. But like, so it's so easy for this like kind of like woke healthcare provider to be like, no, like it's broken. I know it's commonplace. But like one of the first things that needs to shatter around how you view money and investing and wealth and all of that is that the bank is a business.
Yeah.
Like that your insurance company is a
It's a business.
business. And so like when you're asking me questions, I'm like, oh yeah, no, they're not on your side. But a lot of people, they don't even realize that first step. So like with 401ks being so clearly not the thing, how are there so many traditional like because I mean every month there's new wealth advisors graduating and going
Yeah.
into this. Like how
Well,
is this not more mainstream to think about it
well,
differently?
think about this. So, have you seen the movie Wall Street with Michael
Yeah,
Douglas? Okay, so that movie comes
looks
out.
like a blast, by the
Right.
way. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but like,
Well, 400% increase in broker applications the year that movie came out because they're like, I want to do the cocaine and have a private plane and have sex with hookers. I mean, that's basically the message. It was a legalized way to steal money. And so what happens is well-intentioned financial people, they actually want to do what's best for their client. It's hard to do what's best because just like a doctor has big pharma in their ear during their entire undergrad because they've infiltrated the system and they become a customer service rep for pills. That's what happens is wealth advisors become customer service reps for Wall Street. And the reality is there's such a high payout. Like if I didn't know any better and I issued 401ks, I'd be worth over $100 million just from issuing 401ks, just from the number of clients I've worked with over the last 25 years, from the way that I could be able to speak. And the reason is I would get paid 1% of every dollar that's in the plan, right? 1%. So if I had $1 billion in there, that's $10 million a year. But if I go to sell that business, I get 10 to 15 times EBITDA as an exit. So it's an insane exit if I sell that book of business. And so what we've got is a situation where, hey, people say things like, I'm a fiduciary. Well, all that really means is that they're getting paid a percentage of your assets. It's supposed to be, I put your interest first, but it's hard to put someone's interest first if the way you get paid is getting a percentage of assets, right? It's just a good story. It doesn't necessarily translate to being the very best thing for the client. Just like, if I'm going to see an allopathic medicine general practitioner, they're basically going to offer me pills, because if they don't offer enough pills, pharma audits them and says, why is it you're not prescribing as much? You're going to get less of a bonus. And we're going to figure out and audit why you're not doing this, because again, we give them authority as a customer, but they're released of their authority inside of a broken system. And that's the same thing happened in finance. Big pharma and big Wall Street is basically the same thing. It's just a different world, health or wealth. And here's the thing, I can't just be like, hey, take care of my health for me. There's no magic pill that gets my health fixed. Like, I have to do the workouts. I can't delegate that, right? I can have a trainer that helps me with it. I can eat nutritiously or not. Like, there's all these things I can do, but the same thing happens in finance. If I think, I'm just going to set it and forget it, I'm going to invest early, often, and always. I'm going to put it in 401k. I'm going to hope it pans out. 95% of the time, it doesn't. And I don't know where else we would trust Wall Street in our lives. Like Wall Street daycare, would you take kids there? They're like, oh, sorry, we lost 7% of your son, but it's just toes, Wall Street Airlines, you fly in that, they'll be like, sometimes the planes go up, but sometimes they come down, right? It's like Wall Street has the worst brand, and yet we trust our money with them, because what we've done is not trust ourselves to do the work that it takes to build the wealth that we deserve. Just like we see an epidemic in the United States with chronic illness, that's from an abdication of responsibility, and it's hard to navigate. I get it, people are confused, right? But what I know is, if I move every day.
Wasn't it intentionally designed to be confusing? Like, that's why you weren't allowed to train and talk about it. Like, they want you confused. They want you to not understand, because if you even if you thought this, investing in the stocks was exactly what you should do, do it through someone. Don't do it yourself even. No, that's too confusing.
Right. I mean, that's been the message, right? And I've been around, and I've been at part, my neighbor used to work for Goldman Sachs.
How do you even talk to people? I'm just picturing you being people wanting to impress you, because they don't really know. And they're like, oh, Garrett, nice to meet you. I work at Edward Jones. And do you just go
Oh my God, if someone tells me they work at Edward Jones, I just don't have a conversation with them, because I don't know if you know how Edward Jones works, but they prey on the uninformed. They have way more of their offices in rural communities than in metropolitan cities. And they sell the most expensive mutual funds ever created on the planet. And so what happens is it drastically decreases the return for the people that put money in it. And what they do is, again, they go, their policy is, where can we go where people aren't questioning us? Where can we go where we don't have competition? And, we'll just charge high enough fees that if we have smaller amounts under management, we'll be fine. And they get sued all the time.
But if we're going to move on here, I swear, but if let's say you have a 25-year career, you're going to have people retiring, or 30-year, you're going to have people retiring who have used you and trusted you for the last 15 years, 20 years. Aren't those people questioning
right, but they get to go, well, the market didn't do as well as we expected.
Oh, so they just get
everybody else is in the same boat. It's just all that kind of stuff, it's just, it's lowest common denominator. It's kind of like people go to their same doctor, yet we have 59% chronic illness.
Yep.
Why?
Yep.